Quibi Reno 911 season review. I'm Joe. Please subscribe to this channel. I did a video to start episodes 1 through 5. This is going to pick up and do episodes 6 through 12. Heard they had a 25 episode order so far and they only showed 12. And there was stuff that wasn't even shown yet that I saw on publicity stills, like Weird Al Yankovic is supposed to be in it eventually. So we know we got another 12 or 13 episodes coming. When they're coming, who knows? All I know is they better come soon, because this is the only thing that's been legitimately good from start to finish on Quibi. Just as good as the show was on Comedy Central. You could argue a little better because they don't have to censor anything. All the cursing's there, and it doesn't feel like they've lost a step. It fits in perfectly with the old shows. Feels like the old shows. Even looks like they have their little meeting room perfectly the same. When Quibi fails, and they have these 25 episodes, they'll be able to bunch them into 7 or 8 episodes on Comedy Central, air them, and have them in their back catalog, and have another 7-8 episodes of this show in their pockets for syndication for years to come, because the format is very simple. It's just their little stories interjected. They can always just piece everything together and take 3 or 4 episodes and make one episode. Maybe they even have some footage laying around that they haven't used that they can shove in for when Quibi fails. Because it's gonna fail. So sorry, it's gonna fail. This is the only thing that's been good on this, and there's no sign of anything else good coming. It was the first thing I've seen. Maybe there's been other examples and someone can point them out to me. This has been the first incident of them utilizing the landscape portrait, and it wasn't in changing the camera angle or the crop. It was that they did this a couple times where it said on the bottom of the screen, flip. And the first incident I noticed was, it was Big Mike, the return of Big Mike, and he was going to do his Daredevil stunt, and they're walking to Big Mike, and it says flip, you flip the screen, and it went to his stream. So all of a sudden, you're seeing his Facebook live stream. So you can go this way and see the cops interacting with him on for the normal television show camera. Go this way, and it went to his live stream, and you saw the hearts going up, and you saw the comments, and that was really cool. That was an innovative way to use this platform, and hopefully more people do that, and it gave the show rewatch value. You could watch it one way that way, you could watch it the other way flipped up. The next instance I noticed it, which was really good, was for Dangle's body cam. Dangle was running to a trespassing incident. And first, you could have 2 choices. You could watch his body cam, which you just see him flipping and flopping and going everywhere, and the camera wildly spinning. Or you could watch him running, and he's freaking doing like cartwheels and this whole major thing, and he's tightrope walking around the wall. Flips in, and then when he flips in, he says, "Get out of the pool. Wait, you live here? This is the wrong house." So it was a great gag, on top of the fact that it was very innovative the way they did it. The first actual good usage of this technology to flip the screen, because there's been no other usage for that, and more people should do that, and that'll give these shows far more rewatching value. Old school, it brought back old characters. That was fantastic. It just felt like everything belonged because of that. Brought back the old characters, including people like Jackie, Big Mike, Andrew. That was great. I always loved that character from the original, and my favorite from him in the original was way back when they came in on him locked up in a room. He was tied up to a bed with a freaking dildo hanging off his head, and he just starts yelling out, "Don't judge me! Don't you judge me!" So they brought him back with an indecent exposure incident on an airplane. They brought back the old gag of showing Travis Jr.'s a dash cam during a traffic stop, and they had some really good ones. The first was him getting knocked on the head by one of those cool cars that has a door that flips like this, and the other one was him going up to a car, falling into a sinkhole. So those were really good. The gag that they did about the burning building, where they were helping a lady get all the stuff out of her apartment that's burning, and they're throwing everything in the back of her pickup truck, and then she's like, "Oh, thanks guys," and she drives off, and the lady who actually owns the house comes. She's like, "Help me get my stuff." and then they run off. That was such an old gag that they would do all the time. The PSAs were fantastic. My favorite PSA of the whole thing was the sexual misconduct PSA with Jones and Trudy, and he's at one point, the wide shot, he's got his tie like this, and they get to the close-up, his tie's like hanging here, and they do the whole perfect like thing that they always used to do, them awkwardly reading the lines, and then all reading the lines together. It is a dry sense of humor, so some of the stuff is not laugh out loud funny. It's like the show always was. It is not, you're not always going to be rolling over laughing. There's no rolling on the floor laughing my butt off. There's none of that. The Danny Trejo cameo was fantastic. That episode was fantastic, but the Danny Trejo part was great. The Space Force thing was great. Travis Jr.'s home life was great. Everything about it was great. The whole the bit with the new car, the really like, which happened to be from Senegal, all this stuff was great. Fantastic. I can barely say anything negative about it. Anything negative I said was in the first review, and those negatives were that I felt like there were some unfinished things in those first 5 episodes, but none of that happened again. Yes, Jackie's face was not digitally removed. It was, but at the same time, it wasn't as obvious that was her. But it wasn't. I'm not going to complain about that. It probably would have worked a little bit better with TT. But Jackie's face was not digitally removed, but it didn't feel like it was an unfinished thing. Overall, fantastic. Hopefully, the next 12 or 13 episodes drop before my 90-day free trial ends, so I can watch them. But if Quibi is smart, it won't. Because it's the only thing that they've had that had any value that would make me want to pay. I would probably have to turn it on for a month just to watch the next 13 episodes. So they better not release it within the 90-day free trial, because otherwise I'm just turning it off and waiting. It's the only thing they've had that was good, that I've seen from start to finish on this rotten platform. A glimmer of hope in a hopeless world. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel. Until next time, I'm Joe.